Now, we can do it nice, or we can do it like my mother, who was a Missouri farm girl. She'll just pick up an iron skillet, drop you in the kitchen floor like a bad habit. But either way we go, we're all activists now. It's too late. There's too much at stake. There's too much to lose for any of us to sit back and not be activists. In 1775, people who lived in what would one day become the United States of America were facing a tyranny similar to the one that we face today. They've been asking and asking and asking the crown, please don't do this. Why are you oppressing us? Why are you taking away our rights? Why are you taxing us out of existence? Why are you, please don't do that. We want to be here. We want to work with you. We want a relationship. Over and over and over they asked, and over and over and over. The government thumbed their nose at them and ignored them or took them for granted. They assumed that because it was the government, nobody would do anything about it. And Caleb talked eloquently about what happens when you make those kinds of assumptions. And on April 18th of 1775, Paul Revere, a small businessman, he did not know he would be the Paul Revere, honored for hundreds of years in this country when he did this, stood on one side of the body of water and looked for a symbol, or a signal rather, from the belfry of the Old North Church. One if by land, two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore will be ready to ride and spread the alarm to every Middlesex village and farm, to the country folk, to be up and to arms. The people that Paul Revere was activating, who was calling to activism, were the country folk. Today, they'd be Kansans. They talked to the king. King wouldn't listen. Well, it's time to talk to somebody else and talk a little different way. The people, not the politicians, not the newspaper guys, not the radio guys, not the city bigwigs or the rich guy, not the people who had really the most to lose, but the people who really just wanted to be left alone and free. Those were the ones who said, you know what, it's time. It's time to stand up. And so they did. They responded to Paul Revere's call, the country folk. And the next day, April 19th, 1775, our second slogan for the American Liberty Tour was born, if you will. On the side of our vehicles out here, it says defiance, not fear. At the end of At the end of July, before the House broke for the August recess, Nancy Pelosi said into the cameras, "It's okay, I'm not afraid of August." She should have been. Because she didn't know what you and I know, that America is made up not of inside the Beltway fat cats. America is made up of Kansans. And I'll bet you gave your representatives an earful when they got back home, didn't you? The people who showed up the next day when the British marched into town were defiant, not fearful. They were Minutemen, ready to go on a minute's notice. They understood what was at stake. And if you will, there's that obscure Bible verse that talks about the sons of Issachar who knew the times and understood what they should do. Those were the Minutemen. And guys, it's time for us to be just the same kind of people. And it's come to the point in this country that we are approaching yet again a place and a time where citizens of the United States of America fear for their liberty at the hands of their government. One of the speakers earlier offered one of my favorite sayings. When the people fear their government, there's tyranny. But when the government fears its people, there's liberty. I'd say it's time for us to stand up in defiance, not fear, and tell them it's time for you to be afraid of us. It's time for you to listen to us. We sent you off with a job to do. We trusted you to represent us well. We trusted you to protect and secure our liberties. As another speaker mentioned, government in this country was secure or was established to secure those liberties. We sent people to Washington to stop the monkey business that would take away our freedom. Instead, they go there, they become the monkey business that's taking away our freedom. And it's time for that to stop. It's time for us to stand up and defy those people and say, no, 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 not in my lifetime. How's that going to happen? How can we do that? We've been writing, we've been doing whatever, we've been sending emails, and now it's time to vote. Yes, ma'am. Please go to AmericanMajority.org, Ned's organization. Please talk to Becca, and I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, Sherry, here. There are folks right here in your town. Please talk to the folks out here for the state sovereignty movement for Kansas. Get involved with them. If I may be allowed to make a plug for my organization, please go to the AmericanLibertyAlliance.com. There's a little button there that says Get Involved. Click on that, give us your email address, and we'll be happy to send you out stuff that's going on in Kansas that we're aware of for you to get involved in.